I've spent the last 60 days trying to learn how to code, quote, the right way by watching tutorials, trying to memorize syntax, and trying to understand every single line of code before I shipped anything. And somewhere along the way, I realized that this might be the fastest way to irrelevancy. The way that we've been taught to become software engineers in school is already changing. Schools aren't talking about it yet, and some of the experienced engineers out there might be pushing up against it, but I'm living through it right now as a computer science student, and these are the 5 biggest things that I've learned about code and the future of software development. So the first lesson that I've learned is that learning syntax is genuinely an art form of the past. And I want to go and tell a little bit of a story about the beginning part of this 60-day challenge. In the beginning, I was trying to follow all these traditional means of learning. I was watching those YouTube videos, which is like learn Python, and it's like this 12-hour video where you sit down and you learn how to code and you learn all these different functions and you learn how to put every single button and where this dash goes and that comma goes and this parentheses goes. And then in those tutorials or these like coding camps that you have on Udemy or whatever, they put you through these little projects that are awful, by the way. But the goal is to basically turn you into a person who knows how to read and write code. And as I was going through that, I was still using AI, but I was using AI more as a coach and somebody that could help me, guide me, and explain this to me. And what I'm saying is that those days are dead. Those days are genuinely dead and gone and irrelevant. And spending time learning that is only going to hold you back. Because if you just think about it, just learning Python, for example, to learn every single thing, every single syntax minutia that you can in Python, it would literally take you years. And we don't have years to waste. Now you have these AI tools that know every single language, that can read and write and debug code way faster than any human being. Even if you're the best software engineer in the world, you can't compete with Claude. You can't compete with Codex. You can't compete with Gemini. You just can't. So trying to spend your time learning syntax is genuinely a waste of time. Lesson number 2. You don't need to understand everything. And that kind of builds off what we were talking about before. There's literally simply too much to learn. There's way too many frameworks. There's way too many packages. There's way too much out there to learn. And let's say you're a front-end engineer, then you need to learn back-end engineering, which means you need to pick up a whole new language unless you want to do everything in JavaScript or everything in Python. And if you do everything in Python, I guarantee your front-end is going to look like dog shit. And it's just too much to learn these days. They've already coded these large language models with every single language out there, every single framework. They know so much. It's just a waste of time to even try to learn all this stuff. You don't need to know everything. These days, the most important thing is knowing how to ship products, knowing what people want, knowing how to actually publish things, not knowing all the technical minutia that was relevant 10 years ago. And that's just the truth. The role of a coder or just knowing how to code actually doesn't mean much anymore. AI is the coder. We're the engineers. We're the ones who need to direct the coders, the AI, and tell it what features to build, what the code is actually supposed to do, how the user experience is supposed to be. I feel like these skills are the skills that are going to get you employed, are going to help you build products that people actually use in the future. These are the skills of the future. Actually sitting down on your computer and typing code and writing syntax in 2026 is a complete waste of time. And that goes to lesson number 3, that vibe coding or agentic coding, whatever you want to call it, is the future. And it's not even the future, it's already here. My favorite example of this is from OpenAI, right? We should be learning from the biggest companies in the world. And Codex, as of time of this recording, is like their latest release. And Codex was built by AI. They have AIs building AIs. AIs building AIs. And if you're not using these AI tools, you're just falling behind. Basically, you can't avoid it, right? Like early in my 60 days, I was trying to write every single line of code by myself, trying to think of everything off the top of my head, wasting all this CPU mentally, trying to figure things out and trying to memorize what the syntax does. And they even have Copilot integrated into VS Code now. Like, you can't avoid it. AI is everywhere, and the sooner you embrace it, the sooner you can focus on the things that actually matter, which were some of those things that I mentioned earlier. So basically with vibe coding, the power of it is now that a solo developer has the power of a team. The days of this like antiquated sectioned off roles where you have your front end developer and then you have your back end developer are gone. Those days are gone. You now, as the software engineer, are the team. You're the front end engineer, you're the back end engineer, you're the designer, you're the DevOps, you're the cloud deployer, all whatever roles there are out there. These roles are becoming more and more merged, and the statistics show it. The hiring statistics at tech companies, they're not hiring new grads. I'm a computer science student. When I graduate, I'm fucking cooked. There won't be a job for me. And if you have experience, you might be on the chopping block too if you're lower on that fucking chain. So embrace the tools. You have to use them because it just increases your efficiency as a software developer by 100x. And then one quick note on that I want to mention is these days I don't even type. Bro, I don't even fucking type. When I talk to AI, I don't even type. I just use the voice to text feature. And it's not just like quality of life things. It's increase your productivity by 10x things. It's like literally the difference between me typing and speaking is not even the same level of communication, right? This feature makes you feel like God. You just talk to the AI, it translates what you're saying, and then it does it. On the 7th day, on the 6th day, whatever, God said, let there be light. And that's how it feels today with these coding tools, with these AI tools. It's fucking phenomenal. Vibe coding is the future. It's not even the future. It's already here. If you're not using these tools, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'll see you at the homeless shelter. I'll donate to the food bank. Keep your family afloat, fam. We're all out here just trying to make it. Lesson number 4 is that standards are higher, right? And when I was early in that 60-day challenge, if you try to follow any of these like YouTube tutorials that are supposed to teach you how to code and you're trying to code through learning a project or something like that, the output of those projects is not impressive at all in 2026 because the standards are so much higher, right? The people in the professional world and the people at the top of these companies are all using these tools to build even better stuff. And us on the lower end, we have to embrace them and know the same thing. Standards are higher for everybody. And I don't know if AI is something necessarily to be afraid of. I don't think it's that scary. It's something that definitely needs to be embraced, particularly for people in the software development space, because if you look at one of those curves that shows like the early adapters versus the late adapters and the people in the middle who adapt in the middle, we're like right at the very beginning. We're the first industry to be heavily affected by AI because the job of a traditional software engineer is literally just text and logic. And these large language models do text and logic phenomenally. So nobody can compete with them. You have to embrace them. In a sense, it forces us to think more like Mark Zuckerberg. And Mark Zuckerberg ain't writing code, fam. Mark Zuckerberg is not writing code. He probably hasn't written code in 25 years or whatever, however long Facebook's been around, right? He's been thinking higher level about what features does he want to build? What products does he want to bring to market? What changes does he want to make on those products once they're built? We're all forced to think on a higher level in terms of development and like delivering products. And I want to caveat this whole video with the fact that this is more particularly for software engineers who are trying to ship products, people who are in like the development space to ship and deliver products to users. If you're working in some sort of industry that's like highly sensitive, this probably doesn't apply to you. You still might want to write every single line of code yourself. But for anybody interested in building and shipping a product to users, this definitely applies to us. And last but not least, lesson number 5 is AI is not perfect. AI is amazing, but it's not perfect. AI will get you about 70-80% of the way there technically. If you try to have it build you a Facebook clone or an Instagram clone from one prompt, it probably won't do that well. But as you work with it and refine and work with it, it's going to get better and better. It's not a one shot. It still makes mistakes. They still hallucinate. That's going to change. That's going to happen less and less in the future. And it still won't get you past that 20% that it's missing. And AI is still not really good at coming up with ideas. And that feeds into the general theme of this video that we're forced to think on a higher level because AI doesn't have good ideas, right? It's really good at executing your ideas and handling the technical grunt work, but it's not good at coming up with good ideas yet, in my opinion, right? It doesn't have all bad ideas, but the way they code these large language models like ChatGPT, it's like a yes man. Every idea that you have is a good idea. So it's like you have to, the new skill stack for engineers is not, oh, I know Python, I know React Native, I can build full stack. Everybody's going to be able to do that. Everybody can do that now. Unless you're doing some like hyper secure, like low level latency code in like C+ or like some defense code somewhere. Whatever, bro. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the people trying to build and ship products. Everybody has the same tech stack now. I can build in every language now because of AI. So we're forced to think on a higher level, think about product, user experience, how we want things to feel, what iterations do we want to make on that. That's the new tech stack, is critical thinking. It's communication, right? It sounds corny, but this genuinely is becoming the future for people who wanted to work in software development. And I feel uniquely positioned to talk about it because I'm entering the space, right? I don't have 10 years of professional experience. I'm just looking at what it is right now as someone trying to enter the space, and it's impossible to get picked up. If you don't have 5 years of working at Amazon or working at Facebook, they're not hiring us. They're firing people at these companies and replacing them with AIs that they're building. It's fucking crazy. So take this video for what it's worth. If you watched it till the end, I'm going to be creating more content like this, particularly in this space. I stream sometimes, me building mobile applications from scratch. I have a few up on my page right now. I just want to keep making content because I feel like skills like this are the skills that are going to be the separators between the people having to apply for EBT and the people who get hired eventually. And if not that, at least can build your own product. I almost feel like everybody in the space is going to be forced into entrepreneurship. I don't know if you guys have seen the news. Elon says we're headed towards universal income. Universal fucking income. So get your shit right. Embrace AI. Learn how to use it soon. Become an early adopter. Don't get fucking replaced by a robot. You're smart. You're capable. I know it. That's why you're watching this video. If you like this video, do me a favor. I'm trying to build my social medias up. You can follow me right there. There's my Instagram, my YouTube. I'd appreciate a subscribe, a follow, all those good things. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.